brain whispers and, but it's almost good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not a bad thing every
Yeah.
once in a while.
I'll have that exciting lunch. See, yesterday.
Good job, that's nice. Really nice little lift. It's too bad I can get on and give them a spur bark in a different place.
I'll let Jen ride them, and then
I
you
know,
can
right?
have a different one, a one a
Exactly.
foot higher than yours.
Exactly.
I know, terrible, we're gonna have to do a stringent on the sides, make them tough. Never even thought about that with a chestnut.
It's a good thing he doesn't have one of those white marks that he has further behind.
Yeah,
I know. That would be really the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you got it, that's right. That's right. I liked that little tactic, keeping him a little over to the right to begin with, and then saying, come on, get over there. Yeah, exactly, to that outside range. Perfect. Look at that.
boy.
That's a problem. That
Now,
corner.
he's got the same outside ring.
Right. That's what I was just gonna say, when you, the way he came around that corner,
Yeah.
that's how you want Delaware to come around for a shoulder in. The reason I was having you keep him straighter is he comes
Yeah.
around for a shoulder in like this. Like he's-
Yeah, diving.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's not really that you ride the corner wrong, it's just that he's not in front of your inside, you know, he's not up to your outside rein
Yeah.
and in front of your inside leg, so.
Well, you always used to tell me with him he'd dive on that left shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, his
Well,
left.
he does, yeah. But like, a little bit, the way, like that's a good turn, Jeff,
Yeah,
you know, that.
yeah. He looks like he's straightened out pretty well.
Yes, yes, and you know, Jeff is kinda like going at it, like, number one, you have to be on my outside lane. Number two, because then you can get a little aggressive with the inside aids, because if you get aggressive with the inside aids, when he's not on your outside rein, guess what, he's gonna spin his haunches out. It's not, you're not gonna get that filling up, like that's a nice leg deal, he's filling up the outside rein.
Yeah.
And by the way, the tempo is actually really quite good, but every once in a while, just bring it a little bit back and kind of test him a little bit.
Yeah.
That he's, gonna, you know, stand up to that. I actually really like I like the frame to the beginning. I think I just keep testing him that like, okay, well, when I want you a little bit more on the hind leg, are you gonna stay honestly in front of me, or are you gonna kind of quit a little bit and either lean down, which actually probably would be really good. Yep, that's it. That's it. Good job. There you go. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Great job. And not that you're gonna do anything about this like so much right away, but do you notice like it's better in that second corner, but in the first corner, what was that?
Somebody's at the door.
Oh, okay. I looked down for a second. You know, we started late, so I think we started somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes late, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 15 minutes late. I don't need my second 15-minute break either, probably, or I'll run to the bathroom or something. So you should be late, and then maybe after the break, it should be on time.
Yeah, so maybe plan on 1:30,
So
Christine.
what I was saying is, you know, when you flex into the right, he lowers the ear. See,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you know, don't like obsess over that, but
Okay.
you know, do kind of like, you know, like maybe on this long side, bring him a little off the track, either by a loop, and say, yeah, can you get a little into the right connection, and then I'll flex right and say, can I get, and maybe he brings his ear, you know, maybe, but there you go, you know, but when I use a right rein, can I get the nose to go right? And again, I would not, like, there you go, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good,
okay.
now he brings his nose right into his ear. And again, I totally would not worry too much, but it just, one of those things. Yeah, because now he's actually flexing.
Yeah,
Right.
it feels better.
And then you're gonna get that right hind stepping under and lifting him rather than that outside shoulder falling out. Good job. That's awesome, that little shoulder fork.
Yeah.
He really had a nice right flexion. Good job.
Slow again?
Yep, a little bit. Yep, yes. Nice.
Good boy.
Good boy. That's really nice, Jeff. Really nice. And then, do you want to give him a little break before you canter? Or?
I would, yeah.
Really nice. Nice transition too.
They're not always good on turns, especially moving that shoulder.
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Which is has everything to do with that right flexion too. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if he's ducking his ear and
Yeah.
turning his nose left, it's probably even harder to turn.
So you're saying he's kind of tilting a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You know, so it's essentially you change direction.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, to get rid of
Yeah,
that tilt,
to get rid of
and
that
then
tilt.
you try again.
Right. Then you try again. And
Yeah.
he did do it, but you
Yeah.
know, if he didn't do it, like, you know, again, I would like do
Well,
anything drastic.
I mean, just what I was feeling there was, because I had him really nice in the right range, traveled left.
Yes.
And then when I changed back and came around to the right, I lost his shoulder left.
Exactly.
Just a little bit. It was, and I couldn't, I was trying, and when you started mentioning that bit about the reflection, what I was thinking about was, you know, getting his shoulder to move back into the right range.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you know, I mean, with certain different horses, like you take like, I don't know, I'm just thinking of Chris's little
Prize, yeah.
you know, she just took him to the right and waited and waited and waited and he gave in. He's so long and a
Yeah.
little bit stiffer, you
Yeah.
know, that might not work.
No, I don't think so.
And,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, you know, I certainly don't have to tell you this, I'm a little weird about straightening a horse when they're not, you know, on the outside rein,
Mhm.
when they're not,
Connected.
yeah, exactly. So basically you straighten him by changing direction, which
Yeah.
essentially did put his shoulder to the right. But
Mhm.
if you're going around to the right and you're having that issue and you just kind of hold the shoulder in by your left rein, the right flexion's not gonna get any
Then
better.
it doesn't work, yeah. Yeah, so that's why that little loop was helpful, because for that moment that I was off the wall, curving back to the wall, was the same as tracking right.
Exactly, the same, it's tracking left.
Tracking left
Yeah.
line, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I could
And you
use
can
the
also
same
do it
technique.
with a leg gild, I mean, you can leg gild in and then
In
to
and
the
out,
right, you
yeah.
know.
Right, I've done that, yeah.
So we'll do a little warm up canter, I don't care which side you start.
Okay.
You know, the other thing is too, you're still kind of in your warm up and all those like little suppleness, straightness issues. You've got obviously the longitudinal suppleness and the lateral suppleness. And to some degree, some of the lateral suppleness stuff, which obviously that's a lateral suppleness issue,
Right.
is not 100% achievable without some amount of longitudinal suppleness. Like, you know, obviously you take an extremely long horse and you
Yes.
try to do lateral suppleness things and it's
Kinda hard.
not possible.
Right.
You know, so if you feel like by addressing that flexion, you're banging your head against the wall and it's not happening, you know, go back to sort of longitudinal suppleness stuff and kind of don't worry about it for a little.
For a little while.
Yeah, like for instance, that Gero,
Yeah.
he does that a little bit when you're warming up, and you know, what the heck are you gonna do about that, you know?
Right.
And he's got no contact.
When you have no contact, no connection.
Yep, it's opposite. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And then go back to the right flexion before, exactly, so that you, like that right flexion does not mean go left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, good boy. Yeah, and you can kind of pet him on the outside too when you do that, so that you just make, you know, I don't need to use so many outside aids to bring you around. You follow my inside aids. Good boy, good boy. Not bad at all. You know, that same- little tiny bit, so, you know, I would just try to push your shoulders over a little bit to the inside. You know, on the long side, you can do that and kind of a little. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Don't have much
Yeah,
there.
exactly, you're good though. You're doing a good job. There you go.
Better.
Yep, there you go. There you go. You'll see, I mean, that actually looks quite nice.
That feels better now.
The frame
Yeah,
is
does
quite
it?
nice.
Okay. Feels kind of high.
You know, and that's, you know, to me it looks, what do you think, Karen? I kind of like it. I think it looks good. You know, it's interesting to kind of see, I mean, I wouldn't want him, I mean, he doesn't look hollow.
Okay.
He looks, yeah, and he's telling us how hard that is. He does not look high and like propped.
No.
Okay.
You know, he looks like he's taking the bit forward instead of, like you said, taking the pole forward.
Right.
And you may be feeling that too, Jeff, because he may not be committed, you know, he's not taking you yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you know, he's going to the right spot, but it might feel high because he's not drawing on you there, he's, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't look high, you'll see in the video.
Yeah, you'll see.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like it's improving.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a horse like him, not that he's gonna, you know, he may change a little bit, like the frame you wanna ride him in. He has a very long top line. You know, in the end of the day, you should be able to ride him wherever you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you
Maybe
ride-
that's my problem. I don't feel like I can move it around very well.
Right, but I don't necessarily know that you should worry about that too much right now. Looks quite good. And then I might just do the other side. This is very nice. He's really carrying himself. For his age and ability, yeah, and now you gotta be careful, yeah. And also make a big old half up because he's already running. Yeah, as soon as he did that downward. So instead of that push forward, I might have gone like, hey, wait, and then push forward. Like, yeah, and you might wanna make it downward because he's a little bit more lean now. I'm sure it felt
Yeah.
like you had to push him forward because, and you know, I'm not sure that the half halt would have taken care of everything. But, you know, it's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong, especially with a young horse, if you get a not so great transition, that you go back to walk and just kind of, all right, let's start this over.
Right. Nope. Yes.
Yeah, you got it. Good boy. Yeah. You're all right. Short left rein, so you can keep it forward short. Yeah, make it shorter. There you go. There you go.
Do that
Well
one more
done.
time.
Well done. And you know, that same little loop, I think, might help in this side too, because
Yeah.
it's a little, he's a little bored like light by nature. There you go. Yeah. You know, an exercise that's gonna be really good for him, and we can try it a little bit today, if you haven't already, is the, haunches in.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
I've done a
because
little bit.
you have your-
Yeah.
I would imagine it's a little hard on this side, but, he, you know, when you take him too much to the left, because he's so long and a little stiff, you know, his right hind gets pretty far away, you know, and it might be why he does that little hop step into canter, you know, so,
Okay.
you know, just throwing
Right.
that out there.
Yeah, let's canter and then try that.
So, you know, exactly, let's canter and then let's try that. Because it's not so easy to get the bend on this side.
No, it's not.
That actually quite nice. Good.
Wow.
He has really nice gaits.
It's a beautiful canter, you
Yes.
sit there,
Mhm.
it's like just, I swear I could ride that canter all day.
Yep. Well done.
Oh, man, this is hard.
Yeah. I mean, he's just carrying himself so much better. It's really, yeah, he's telling us
East
about it.
Town is hard, it is.
And, you know, on the long side, just yield them in like 2 strides or do a little loop.
Okay.
Just very soft, though, not like too far in. Just kind of. Exactly. Just kind of get the shoulder a little free. There you go. Super. Just, you'll want to do the same thing. Delaware wants to do, yes. Even though they're very different, you know, that sort of woodenness in the canter is maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
There, that's, what you did in front of us is really good. It was like a real slow, almost little counter flexion and. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's perfect. You don't even, exactly.
Boy.
You don't even necessarily need to go back.
Yeah.
Because he,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he came in that
Yeah,
time,
that
it's
felt
like
great.
right where you want it.
Yeah, that felt great.
Yep. Just one more time and we'll go. There you go.
There.
Yeah. That's it.
Good.
Good job. See, now you can get that.
Now I
left
got the
side.
left, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
And you can almost counterflex for the transition too. Yeah, yeah. Actually, that was
Better.
great.
That was better. It took a while.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's it.
Oh, I see.
Super.
Alright, good. Well, Gail. What come yet? No.
Looks good, Jeff. I'm really happy towards the end of the can of work, you could, you know, really work on that left. You could really get that left bend a little bit.
A little better, yeah, rather than just being kind of dumped on that
Yeah.
left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good boy.
Yeah.
He is extraordinarily hard to move though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he really is tight
Yeah.
there.
yeah, he's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't.
Puzzle. Yeah, you gotta wear a double bridle someday, then.
That's right.
Everybody getting south and some mean.
What's that?
Why?
No, I'm itching. Oh, I think everything's mean.
Hmm.
Like, why even ride your horse?
Send them up here, and they'll feel like, these people like you a lot, because
Yeah.
they're just as mean as you are.
I know.
Okay, so you were saying you take positive left?
Yeah,
Okay.
like what I would do is, I think if we did like a little, quarter line, and
Okay.
start a leg yield
Mhm.
and almost get the feeling like that he would drift
Drift to the
slightly,
wall.
because obviously his MO is to
Fall left.
fall this and
Yeah,
fall that.
got it. Yep.
So almost as if you would drift so that you feel a little bit more in your outside rein,
Yeah.
and then ride the haunch, like, let's just say you feel it, you know, right here, then just kind of steer towards the wall and see if you can get, and you know, I don't know, he might be, obviously he's pretty, he might not do that easier than I think.
Yeah.
But, you know, if he doesn't do it easily, he doesn't have to do a lot of angle.
Okay.
He just has to kind of give you, the most important thing is that you feel him in the outside rein, and that you don't feel like you have to pull on the inside rein, kick with the outside leg, you know? Even if it's like, even if he literally only does a haunches in for, I mean, again, he might do it better than I think. But even if he only does a tiny one, as
Yeah.
long as you still feel, and then, let's just say you go a couple strides and and it starts out fine, and then he starts to make you wanna pull his head left.
Yeah.
And you can play his head left, but if you have to
Don't
pull
hold
his
it.
head left,
Yeah, that's
then yield him back to the wall again and remind him, no, you have to go on the outside rein, you know? So that's what I would do, just kind of play with that little haunches, and we can do it in the other direction too. I feel like this direction will be like extremely beneficial for you,
Okay.
because the shoulder in is obvious when you have the issues he has. However, when he stays board-like in his body and you can't bend him, like a lot of times the haunches in, yeah, exactly, gives you better bending ability, and that you keep steering him to the wall. Don't let his nose and shoulders face the long side. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
No matter what, like even if you get nothing,
Okay. Okay.
you know? Yeah, there you go. His nose and shoulders, there you go. There you go, good job. Yep, super. That's actually quite nice. Yep. And the second you feel like you have to hold a little bit too much on the left, you know, you just kind of pat him a little bit there and push him a little bit more towards the wall again. There, you corrected that well when he first came around. There you go. Yep. Because ultimately, like when he's a Grand Prix horse, you want to feel like you can pull on the right rein.
Yeah.
See, Karen, this is what your Delaware does. I mean, obviously Delaware travels with his haunches in, but that's, you know, you can still fix that with the haunches, and he's not, obviously, you wouldn't wanna do haunches in right away.
Right.
But you'd want him to, you know, he needs to go to your outside rein. Now, I can't wait for you to look at the video, because you'll see, there, that's good. I mean, that's good, Jeff. I might just go the other side. I mean, that's gonna be a good exercise for him. He does it already pretty well. I mean, he does it well enough for a second level test, so. It's not, I mean, it's
I'll take it.
not bad at all. Yep. And this side's gonna have a different issue. You know, I'd still use that little leg yield exercise, but you might feel like you have to kick him with the left leg, and even the left whip on the shoulder, if he starts to go, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep, forehand to the right, forehand. He got a little straight.
Yeah.
You know, remember that the forehand goes to, like, towards the short side no matter what. See, and there's the right flexion's a little hard, but this is gonna help the right flexion. Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Boy.
Perfect. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can tell his barrel's a little stiff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's stiff, but he's a long horse, so that's gonna get good.
Okay.
But, you know, and I feel like he's, the more you can get into that lateral work, it's gonna really help him with that longitudinal stiffness too. Yeah.
It's kind of screwed up.
Yeah, doesn't matter. This is really quite good. After another one that you're happy, maybe give him a little walk again, even though that wasn't much work. And then I have one more idea of something you can do. But Karen, the thing, what I was saying about is that, like, you'll see really clearly how sometimes when you ride, say, out of the collection, your right hand goes up his neck. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's a couple times in Missy was at the exact right spot. You'll totally see that. And that's what gives him the ability to go like this, and then he brings his haunches in. Fozzie doesn't bring his haunches in, but he's essentially doing the same thing. And even though we're correcting it with the haunches in, we're correcting it with the haunches in. Like, Delaware's doing haunches in on the inside ring, you know, nothing out here.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
So, you know, even though we're correcting this with the haunches in, it's not,
It's not,
not the same.
no.
Let's, do, like, I wanna do like a little tiny bit like lengthen or medium in the trot, but
Yeah.
let's take that, that little haunches in feeling, I'm just trying to think, because remember, I mean, it won't look like this, but remember when, I don't remember who it was, Fun Air maybe, we were thinking half, Bono, half,
Yeah.
half pass, medium, half pass, or whatever
Yes,
it was I was saying.
yes, that was
we should
fun.
try that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we can't do it exactly
No, we
like
can't
that,
do
and
that.
I'm not sure I would take that line because it's so,
So steep,
but what if you did like a,
corner head to
like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And then just, I mean, he's not gonna do a half pass, but
No.
like that feeling of the haunches in and then straightening and then kind of going back to a little haunches in.
So,
Because I'm only imagining that he's gonna wanna stiffen and
he's just
run.
a runs.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Tries to give me the auction frame.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Sure, that sounds like a great
Yeah,
idea.
let's just give it a try, just
Mhm.
be, you know, be playful with it,
Yeah, we won't be used
just trying to get a little loft in his
into his stride.
forward,
Yeah.
going forward from that. I mean, you can also just do it on the long side if you wanted to, it doesn't, you know, you could take a shower that, yeah. Okay. You can always change it if it doesn't work. Good job. Love that. That's all right, it's all right, it's all right. You're good, you're good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're good.
Okay. I can't make that corner afterwards.
Yeah.
After the turn of the day.
Yeah. I think you just need to mess around with whatever line you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a nice little half house. Yeah, yeah, good job. Yeah, good boy, good boy, good boy.
Boy.
And I think that was really appropriate. You were a little stronger a moment and then soft. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, good boy. Yeah, yeah, just keep, exactly, you're right, just keep remembering to move that forehand. Maybe one more time in this direction. Honestly, the little baby half pass is great though. Yeah, yeah. And you know, right now, I would not be too worried about that canter, because
He's strong.
yeah.
He
And
doesn't understand.
he doesn't understand. It's like, and if it gets too much, you know, you just rise. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
realize. That's getting through some of his tightness. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Good boy. Good boy. That was good, Jeff. Good boy.
Circle.
Yeah, it's okay. And if, yeah, keep that left elbow in, and if you feel like you have to use too much left rein, then you just yield them back to the right. You know, this might be a little harder on this side, but you know, if you feel like you have to, there you go.
Good. And out.
See, it's almost no haunches in, because I had the
Yeah.
perfect angle, but it's, he's on your outside ring.
He is
So
on
he's-
the outside ring.
And he's not swinging his haunches out, you know? So, which is what he's gonna wanna do on a left turn. Yeah. boy, that was really nice, that might be where you wanna stop.
Yeah.
He came right back.
He did.
I mean, the thing about that exercise, which is cool, is that the haunches in, like ideally for his age and size, you know, the arena would be a little bigger, but you can just alter it like that.
Right.
The cool thing is that putting them into the haunches in like slows them down, but you ride forward. So then he actually brought himself back.
Well, the turn, yeah, it's the turn at the
It's the
end
turn
is
too, yeah.
bringing him back,
Yep.
helping me a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Sorry you can't.
That's my fault, that's why I let him do that, so. That was really good.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with him.
He's more horse in the hand than I want.
Right.
Still, a lot
Right.
more,
Right.
you know,
And-
that's the only thing.
Yeah. And I think you have to ask yourself what kind of in the hand is he, you know.
Yeah,
To me, it looked
yeah.
like he was pulling you forward, but, you know, and then, I guess you just gotta release fairly often and be like, are you holding yourself up?
Yeah, because I think, I do think that, I mean, I think the position, like you're saying, is a good carriage for him,
Yeah,
but it does still feel a little bit like I can't give.
Yeah.
Like if I give, then, so it falls apart, so
Yeah,
we're holding
well,
it together a little bit
then,
more.
then maybe give more often,
More often,
you know, a little
yeah,
Uber striking, and if
Yeah.
it falls apart,
yeah,
then-
pick up the pieces
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
it again.
to tell you the truth, it doesn't really look that way, you
I-
know?
No.
I know,
I
and
mean,
and
yeah,
when I
okay.
ride them, I give a lot because I'm not as strong as you are.
Right.
My
Yeah.
arms, I have the tendonitis. So when he gets strong, I'll give it to him. I'll
Yeah.
throw it at him sometimes and,
Right.
and give it to him and he's like, oh, I'm still there, he's still there.
But yeah, you know, because the frame actually looks really nice.
Great.
And,
Good.
you know, if you're feeling that, then, you know, I mean, we're not seeing like your, you know,
I don't
Popeye
feel like,
muscles.
right, no, I don't think, no,
I don't
obviously I
think
couldn't,
he's, I think he's,
I just don't ride that way, so I know it doesn't get that
Yeah.
strong, but
Yeah.
I know what I like it to feel like, and
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
feel quite
Yeah.
like
And
I like it.
obviously, you know, horses like him are gonna come a little stronger than we want before they come light. But
Right,
I
okay.
would agree with you, I mean, I wouldn't wanna be like, oh, it doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
not at all like that, but like, you just gotta keep figuring out like, okay,
What works.
because it's different. If he was strong in the hand and he was leaning down,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
bad.
that's different.
Yeah.
But he's, for good or for bad, he is pulling me forward. Like maybe it's too much, but at least in the frame that he's in, if it falls apart,
Yeah.
it's not gonna he's not gonna somersault, you know?
No, that's very true, he's not gonna do that, no, it just feels like I'm just gonna lose the back end.
Yeah, so then
You know.
you need to, I think you probably just need to
Yeah,
do it.
do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
or one rein and then the other, like, you know.
That I've
just-
done, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do that a lot.